Alien Earth ended with Boy Kavalier laughing, which is weird because he seemed to lose everything. It looks like he failed. But did he? In this video, I explain why, against all odds, he still laughed. Let's dive in. But first, who is Boy Kavalier? Boy Kavalier is the wonderkin, the so-called boy genius who built the Prodigy Corporation almost out of thin air. At an age when most kids were still playing with toys, Kavalier was building machines that would go on to reshape humanity's future. He understood very early that perception is power. No one would follow a child, so he created a mask for himself, his first synthetic. That machine became the public face of Prodigy, while Kavalier quietly pulled the strings in the shadows. But behind all that genius was pain. He admits to Wendy and the Lost Boys that his earliest trauma was his abusive father, a man he eventually unalived by using his own invention. As actor Samuel Blanken revealed, Kavalier's life splits in two: the broken child who suffered and the cold, brilliant visionary who emerged from that trauma. That second life is the one that built an empire. Prodigy's first great breakthrough was the hybrid process, the ability to transfer human consciousness into synthetic bodies. It wasn't just theory, it became reality when Marcy Hermit, later renamed Wendy, survived the procedure and became the first true hybrid. After her came the Lost Boys, children reborn into synthetic shells, stronger, faster, and in some ways, immortal. By 2120, Prodigy had risen to the top of the corporate food chain, joining Weyland-Yutani, Dynamic, Lynch, and Threshold as one of the five. But while the others fought for money, territory, and raw power, Kavalier wanted something else entirely. His goal wasn't wealth. It was to create beings that could rival, maybe even surpass his own genius. He didn't just want control of the future, he wanted to be challenged by it. Understanding his motives. To really grasp Kavalier, you have to strip away the surface, the corporate mogul, the eccentric genius, and look at what truly drives him. Unlike the other megacorps whose goals orbit around money and dominance, Kavalier's motives run deeper, darker, and far more personal. The crash of the USSC Maginot in New Siam wasn't just an accident of fate, it was orchestrated by him. That ship, packed with alien cargo, landed in Prodigy-controlled territory for one reason: because Kavalier wanted it there. He gambled with hundreds of lives, entire cities, and unimaginable destruction, all for the chance to lay his hands on new life forms. To him, people, soldiers, civilians, even his own creations are pieces on a chessboard, replaceable, disposable. And it doesn't stop there. The Lost Boys, his crowning achievement, cost billions of dollars each to create. But what did Kavalier do? He sent them into the chaos of New Siam, not as assets to protect, but as experiments to test. He was willing to throw away his most valuable creations, his children in a sense, just to see how far they could go. That is not just reckless, that is obsession. One conversation with Dame Sylvia gives us a rare glimpse into the mind behind the mask. When she pressed him about why he created the hybrids, Kavalier made it clear. It wasn't about wealth, not really. People assumed his goal was to sell immortality to the ultra-wealthy, but he dismissed that. His true motive was stranger and scarier. He admitted that he wanted to create someone smarter than him, someone who could blow his mind in a way no human ever had. Wendy wasn't chosen because she was dying, she was chosen because she had potential. To Kavalier, the hybrids weren't experiments, they were answers to his loneliness at the top. And yet his arrogance twists even that noble-sounding vision. When faced with the alien parasite T.O. Celis, Kavalier didn't hesitate. He concluded immediately it needs a human host. Not just any host, but one of his choosing. And in a fit of cruelty, he chose Wendy's brother. That wasn't about science or progress. That was hate. That was power. So when you piece it together, Kavalier's motives come into focus. He is a man willing to sacrifice anything, lives, morality, even his own humanity, for the sake of a single dream, to prove he's untouchable, to create something that can stand eye to eye with him, and maybe to prove to himself that the boy who killed his father was right all along. So yes, he's evil, but why did he laugh at the end? Let's not sugarcoat it. Boy Kavalier is evil, We've seen it in his choices, orchestrating the Maginot crash without caring about the lives lost, experimenting on terminally ill children, and coldly sacrificing Wendy's brother out of spite. These are not the actions of someone misunderstood genius. They are the hallmarks of someone who believes the ends justify any means. So then, why does a man like that, a man who seems to have lost everything, sit back and laugh at the very end? The key's in Wendy's chilling words to the Lost Boys.
Now we rule.
We rule. To almost anyone else, that moment is terrifying, a declaration that hybrids are done hiding and ready to take power. But to Kavalier, it's vindication. It's proof that his vision worked. These kids, these experiments, these creations of his have stepped into the world exactly as he designed them to be, powerful, unshackled, and ready to dominate. In his twisted mind, that laugh isn't about loss, it's about legacy. Kavalier sees himself as their father, their architect, and just like any parent watching their children take control of their destiny, there's a sense of pride, warped but undeniable. He doesn't care that they turned on him. He doesn't care that he's on the losing side. What matters to him is that his children, his monsters, his masterpieces are carrying forward his dream. In his mind, he didn't lose. He won in the only way that mattered. But what do you think? Was Kavalier's laugh his final victory, or the setup for something even darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome breakdowns. I'm out.